Hey, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be making it is a low carb sour cream beef bake. It's a really simple dish if you want something like if you're trying to figure out to make something with ground beef, and it's really cool. So what you just need for this is just 12 ounce cauliflower rice, which is good in there. And then you just need 1.5 pounds of lean ground beef, and then also tomato sauce. You can find these at Walmart too, really cheap. But it's 15 ounces of the tomato sauce that you have, and then make sure that there's no sugar added because you don't want it to be tasting all sweet, I guess. And then also it's 1/2 cup of sour cream, and then also if you want to add cottage cheese, you can. It's 1/4 cup, but we're not using that today. But there's 2 cups of also shredded cheddar cheese. That's Kobe Jack. And there's also sliced green onions, and you want 1/2 cup. Oh, here's my cup here, 1/2 cup of that. And I already pre-sliced them, but you want to slice them down to a good size because when we add them in later, it's gonna be good. And then also you want 1 tablespoon of salt. Yes, 1 tablespoon. Let me just make sure. My bad. So 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And I have my whole prep here already. It's going to be pretty good. We're just going to mix everything together with it. And then, like I said, it's a really simple dish, so I'll just show you exactly how we're going to do that. Start mixing it together. And then also another thing on here, make sure when you do this, preheat your oven to 350 degrees before you're about to start preparing this, so it'll be ready and all nice and hot. So that's one thing. So we'll go ahead and begin, and we'll get back whenever I bake the rice. All right, so the next step is you gotta get your cauliflower rice, and once you have that open, you're gonna put it in a bowl. It's your 2.5 quarts of cauliflower rice. If you want to add this, you can. It'll help it instead of a substitution for rice. But if you don't want it, you don't have to. But if you do, you want to put it in a bowl in a 2.5 quart baking dish, but basically just about this big. I don't know if you have any measuring bowls or anything, but if not, just about this big. Not too big, like at least kind of like about this tall. So we're going to go ahead and add this in. All right, cool. So now we see that we have it in our bowl here, cauliflower rice. Now you want to make sure that you put it in the oven. It says microwave it for you want to make sure to microwave it for 4 to 5 minutes or until it's tender but not mushy. So you want to make sure that you just cook it. You just want to eye it out. Maybe just check on it every minute just to make sure that it's not mushy or anything like that, or just make sure it's tender. So we're going to go ahead and pop this into the microwave real quick. So now for this part, you're going to be cooking your ground beef, and you're going to want to put it in this pan. And then this is the one where you put in your 1 teaspoon of salt and pepper. But you want to make sure the meat is cooked a little bit before you add all that in, because you want to make sure that it's freshly seasoned and everything. So you want to just you just break it up in here, and then just leave it to just like just to let it simmer a little bit together. Just leave it inside the pot, and then put a lid over it. There's no lid. There we go. Yeah, just leave a little lid over it, just so you can have just to let it cook a little bit. If you put it on high, then it'll cook at least 7 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes you can cook it for, but just cook it until it's brown or it looks good. And then once you cook it and it looks brown, you want to start adding in your seasonings around that part. So so we'll come back whenever the meat is at least a little bit more brown, and then we start adding in our other mixtures. So now, as you can see, the cauliflower rice is done. And I put it at 4 minutes. I think that's what I said. But I didn't put it for the full 5, but it came out perfectly nice right here. So you just want to put it on not too long. If you have it frozen, you might want to put it on a little longer, but if it's defrosted already, then 4 minutes is really good, and it comes out really good, because we're gonna need that for our mixture later, and I'll show you what that does in a minute. All right, cool. So now that the ground beef is a little, you can tell it's a little more brown. So it's whenever it gets about this brown, you can start adding in your salt and your paprika, or your pepper. I mean, not paprika. But yeah, go ahead and add in your salt, and remember it's 1 teaspoon. Oh my gosh. And then your pepper, you can also have 1 teaspoon of the pepper as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. Oh, it's taking a while to... You know, also, if you're really good at measuring it in your head, you can too. But yeah, and then you want to mix that together so it'll taste good. And then if you have any like extra you need to dump it or anything like that, or not dump it, but drain it, then feel free to do that before you add the salt and pepper, because you don't want to mess up your seasonings. And we don't add too much, because the salt from the cheese and the salt from the cheese is going to give it more seasoning to it. So that's why we only add so much. And then just make sure you stir it thoroughly well. And then you want to break it apart too, however much you can. And then there we go. All right, so once your ground beef is done, we're going to move on to the next step. Also, I forgot to, in your ground beef, you're going to want to put in your tomato sauce. It says 15-ounce can, but we'll see if the 13-ounce, if it's just enough, because I don't know if it's going to be too much or too little. So let me see if I put this in and start mixing it together. I guess you could add 2 more ounces in if you really want to, but I think it's just enough with the 13-ounce can. But you know, if you want to put a little bit more, 2 more ounces in, you can, but I think 13 is going to be enough for me, because it's a lot of sauce. But it's going to be really, really good. And we mix that together with our salt and pepper mix too. And we have that in here. So that's going to be really good. So that's going to be cool. So you want to make sure to mix that together and have that ready right there, which is your ground beef. And go ahead and cover that back up. And then the next step that we're also going to have, let me move this back a little bit, is that we're going to put our 1/2 cup of sour cream mixed in with the green onions. And if you have your the cottage cheese with it as well, you can go ahead and use that, and then you got to throw that all together. But make sure you do that 1/2 cup of sour cream. Got a little measuring cup here. I'll put that in, make sure it's 1/2. Go ahead and put some more. Let me see, it's making all that noise, sorry. All right. And then right there, that'll be our 1/2 cup. So you see, we have our 1/2 cup there. We're gonna pour that in. And then I'm gonna make sure you gotta put that in with your green onion, and you're gonna mix this all together. Mix it well, because we're gonna put it in with the rest of our stuff as well. And you wanna get like a mixing bowl, put it together, and you're gonna mix it together, just like normal. And yeah, you're gonna make sure just mix that all around together. All right, so now that we mixed that thoroughly, you're gonna wanna get your cauliflower rice. Let me put this down a little bit so you can see. There we go. So you're gonna get your cauliflower rice, and you're gonna add your green bell pepper, or sorry, green pepper. Add your green onion mixture and the sour cream in with your cauliflower rice. You could probably just dump them in if you put the cauliflower, or you put the green onion in. I don't think you need another mixing bowl, but because you're gonna mix them together. But so you don't dirty up another bowl, but it works better. So that it helps you see your measurements, because that's what helps me. So now this one, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix it together with our cauliflower rice. That nice mixture we had. It's already smelling good. I wish you could smell what I'm smelling. So, so you're gonna mix it thoroughly. And then once you do that, it should be put together kind of like this. Ooh. So it's gotta look like that once you mix it all together, which is gonna be good. And then now that you mixed it, we're gonna move on to our last step. All right, so now for this part, it's gonna be pretty fun. Give me a second, actually, hold on. Okay, so now for this part, what you're gonna wanna do is that mixture that you made with the cauliflower rice, all you have to do is just dump it inside this bowl. I mean the tray you have. You can get a nice dish here. You can use whatever you want to, actually, if you have just any microwave safe dish. You can go ahead and just throw it on in there. And then you want to make sure you spread it across, like not flat, but just have it evenly put together on the bottom, kind of just like a casserole. This is going to be really good. Pan might not be big enough now that I think about it, but it should be good, should be good. So you just spread it evenly and then you'll have enough on each side. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. It's going in even. Just make sure you spread it evenly, don't throw it all in at once like I did. But yeah, so this, and then you're gonna have it just like that. Look at that, delicious. All right, and then what you're gonna do is now you're gonna take that, oops, you didn't see that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put on half of the beef mixture that you have over this cauliflower rice, and you wanna make sure that you spread it evenly on top of it. And then, so we're gonna add in half of this. We're not gonna put all of it in just yet, because kind of like a casserole-ish. So let's go ahead and spread that a little bit. This isn't half of it just yet. We're gonna spread it across, and it's gonna be pretty good. Just make sure it looks even like this, because you just don't want it to, you know, not be completely in this bowl that we have. Just spread it evenly, and then so you'll have enough as well for the top layer. Wow, this just smells really good. So we're gonna do this, add another layer. All right, and that was only half of the beef, like I said. And so you see how that's evenly spread on there? So now once that's evenly spread, just like that, we're gonna go ahead and add on our 1 cup of shredded cheese. And you wanna make sure, oops, have those all tied together. You wanna make sure you put it around, spread it on evenly, kind of like we did with the meat, but just spread it all on. I shredded some of it, so, oops, this one it's kind of gonna crinkle, but you just do this. Just, yeah, just nice little layer of that 1 cup of cheese. Because it's gonna be the middle part. It didn't come out completely nice like that, but it's gonna be perfect. So yeah, just make sure you have that on evenly. And if you shred it, just make sure you can like sprinkle it on top, so because they'll clump together. And then if that happens, it's okay. You can just like break it apart a little bit and then just spread it. But yeah, so that's cool right there. And then once we're gonna do this process again with the rest of the beef, because we only got half of the cheese on here, so they could like have a layer underneath it. But we're gonna put the rest of it on here, and we'll do that right now. All right, so once you put that second layer on, it should look like this. Ooh, that looks really good, but just wait till it gets in the oven. So now what you're gonna do from here is once you're done adding all that together, I just chopped up a few more green onions on the top just to make it look a little bit more, just to give it a nice little top to it, you know, just make it look nice, cool, professional. If you want to, you can. You don't have to, though, if you don't want to. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and throw this in the oven that we preheated for 350 degrees. And we're going to throw it in for 20 minutes, and then it should be all done. So we're going to go ahead and pop that in the oven. And once we come back, it should be done. All right, so now, this is the final product of the casserole. It should look like this. Look at that. Looks really good. Let me get you an above view real quick. Let me move this out of the way. Look at that. The casserole is now done. All of those ingredients we used are perfect. It made it into this beautiful casserole here. It smells really good. Oh my goodness, it smells really good. And we'll have to give it a taste test to see if it's actually as good as we wanted it to be. So definitely, this is really good. Really recommend this. It's an easy recipe, and we'll come back for the taste test. All right, so how does it taste?
It's really good.
Nice, came out
You
good.
haven't tried it, huh?
Oh, nice, came out good.
It's delicious.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't get to try it yet.
It tastes like a little bit like it's good.
Nice. I'm glad it
tastes
did.
like meatloaf a little bit.
Oh, nice. I was hoping. I think the tomato sauce. It depends on how much meat you have too. You don't want to put too much because I almost put over too much, and then it could have drowned it out. So
sweet.
Yes, perfect. I'm glad. Again, this is a really easy recipe. This came out really good actually. Everything blended together really good. So again, you want an easy recipe just to like have for the family. Then you can go ahead and then make this for. You can make it just as a simple meal, and it's really quick to make too. So yeah. So again, really, it's so delicious. So I'm gonna go eat this. So make sure to like and subscribe if you really like this, and hit the bell notification so you get notified. And definitely, if you want to like it for this beautiful casserole, feel free. Take care.